students, welcome to Math Magnet. Math made easy. This is for all you little geniuses who need a little help with math. Remember to use this video only as a guide to help you solve your math problems after you have attempted to solve them yourselves. Let's get into today's video. Today we are going to see chapter 4 percentage from workbook for grade 6A. We shall be solving practice 1 and practice 2 questions in this video. Let's start with practice 1, finding percentages. Let's look at the first question. A school's string ensemble has 50 pupils. 27 of them are girls. What percentage of the string ensemble are girls? So here, out of 50 pupils, 27 are girls. Now they want to know what percentage is that, the number of girls, how much percentage do they contribute out of 50 pupils. So let's start with the bar model. We have the total strength as 50. So we have the total strength. So this will be girls and this will be boys. And we know girls is 27 and they want to know how much is this coming to as percentage. So how do we go about it? We know 50 is equal to 100%. That is the total 50 is equivalent to 100% of the pupil. 27 will be equal to 27 into 100 divided by 50, which will be equal to 54%. So there are 54% of girls in the string ensemble at the school. Question number 2. The table shows the number of fiction and non-fiction books in a class library. That is, you have two types of book, that is fiction and non-fiction. And we have fiction, we have 13 books, and for non-fiction we have 16 books. Now what percentage of the books are fiction books? Give your answer correct to one decimal place. Now we need to find what percentage does this 13 fiction books contribute to. So let's begin with the bar model. Now we have this fiction books and the non-fiction books. We know there are 13 fiction books and non-fiction books it is 16. So we have the total contributes 100%. Now they've asked us to find the percentage of fiction books. To begin with, total number of books we will have to find, which is fiction plus non-fiction, that is equal to 13 plus 16, which is equal to 29. So there are 29 books totally at the class library. Now out 29 books makes 100%. How much does 13 books makes? That is 13 books are the fiction books. So 13 into 100 divided by 29. So it is always it is forming like an X formation. Okay. So 13 into 100 divided by 29. So that will be equal to 44.82%. Since they want us to give in correct to one decimal place, it becomes 44.8%. So there were 44.8% were fiction books. Question number 3. Mr. Poe has 9 pairs of sneakers. Sneakers make up 60% of his footwear. How many pairs of footwear does he own? So they are saying Mr. Poe has certain number of footwears, of which 9 pairs are sneakers, and this 9 pairs form 60% of the total footwear that he has. So let's begin. Then they're asking us to find how many footwears he owned at the beginning. So let's begin by drawing the bar model. Now here we know sneakers are 9 pairs and that forms 60%, and this remaining is the other forms of footwears, and they want us to find the total number of footwears he owned. So how do we find out? We know 60% is 9 pairs of sneakers and 100% will be 100 into 9 divided by 60, which is equal to 15. So Mr. Poe owned 15 pairs of footwear. Let's look at the next question. Question number 4. A plate of chili crab at a seafood restaurant cost $72.76 including 7% GST. Find the cost of plate of chili crab before GST. Now they've given us the cost of one plate of chili crab including 7% GST as $72.76. They want us to find what is the cost of only the plate of chili crab excluding the GST. So let's begin by drawing the bar model. Here the total cost including the GST, let us assume this is your GST, Let's assume this is the GST and this is your cost for the plate of chili crab. Now they want us to find the cost of this, and we know the cost of the entire thing is $72.76. And now we know this cost is will be equal to 100% and 7% is your GST. So for 107% is $72.76. We need to find how much is it for 100%. So let's begin. The plate of chili crab plus GST will be 100% plus 7% equal to 107%. So 107% is $72.76. Now for 100% it will be 100 into 76 divided by 107, which will be equal to $68. So basically the plate of chili crab at that seafood restaurant will cost $68. Let's look at the next question. Shirley is thinking of a number. 25% of the number is equal to 110. What number is Shirley thinking of? Now this looks like a riddle, isn't it? Let's begin by drawing the bar model. The bar model shows 25% of the bar is 110. They are asked us to find the entire bar, which is 100%. So this is simple. Let's see how we go about it. 25% is equal to 110. Now 100% will be 100 into 110 divided by 25, which is equal to 440. So the number Shirley was thinking was 440. Now sixth question. Alex has 3 pens in his pencil case. This is 25% of the number of pens that he has. How many pens does Alex have altogether? Let's begin by seeing how the bar model goes. Now we know 25% is 3 pens. In his pencil case, 25% are 3 pens. Now they have asked us to find what is 100%. That is how many pens does Alex have altogether. So that means 100%. So the same as the previous problem, 25% will be equal to 3. 100% will be equal to 100 into 3 divided by 25, which will be equal to 12. So Alex had 12 pens altogether. The next question, question number 7. On a particular day, 55% of the visitors to the zoo were children and the rest were adults. There were 165 children. How many visitors were there at the zoo that day? Now here at the zoo they are saying 55% of the visitors at the zoo were children and that was equal to 165. So how many people were there in total at the zoo on that particular day? So let's begin by drawing the bar model. Here the 55% of the block or the bar is equal to 165 and they are asking us to find how much is the value for this entire bar, which is equal to 100%. So we know 55% is 165. For 100% it will be 100 into 165 divided by 55, which is equal to 300. Now they have asked us to find the entire bar, which is how many people were there at the zoo including children and adult at the zoo on that day. So that is equal to 300. Remember, they haven't asked us to find the adults. They haven't asked us to find how many adults have visited the park. They've asked us to find how many visitors are there at the park. So which means we'll have to consider the entire 100%. So it becomes 300. So there were 300 visitors at the zoo. Question 8. 36% of the members in a gym are females. There are 252 female gym members. How many members are there altogether in the gym? Now over here they are saying out of 100 members, 100% of members in the gym, 36% are females and that they are saying that 36% is equal to 252. They have given there are 252 female gym members. Now they are asking us to find how many members, that is how many men and women members are there altogether in the gym. So let's begin by drawing the bar model. This is similar to your previous problem. Here we know 36% is equal to 252 and they are asking us to find this entire bar and not about how many men are there. So please be careful while reading and answering the question. They've asked how many members are there. That means how many members that includes women and men. Now that becomes 100%. So we know the value 36% is equal to 252. So for 100% it becomes 100 into 252 divided by 36, which is equal to 700. So there were 700 members altogether in the gym. Let's begin with practice 2, percentage change. Let's see how to solve all the questions under practice 2. Question 1. A library had 570 books when it first opened. A year later, the number of books increased by 30%. How many books were there in the library a year later? Now they are given us the percentage increase as 30%. And they are asking us to find how many books were there after this increase. So let's begin by drawing the bar model. So the first year they were 570 books in the library. Okay, so first year this is your 100%, and you know the percentage increase is 30%. So 100% plus 30% will be a 130%. So basically your second year will have 130% of the books. So that's it. We just need to find how much is 130%. So let's begin how to calculate 100%. We'll know number of books a year later will be 100% plus 30%, which is equal to 130%. So we know 100% is 570. 130% will be 130 into 570 divided by 100, which is equal to 741. So there were 741 books in the library a year later. Question number 2. The price of a watch was $115 when it was launched last year. When a new version of the watch was released this year, the price of the earlier version of the watch decreased by 15%. Find the price of the earlier version of the watch this year. So they are saying when a product was launched, a watch was launched last year, it was 115. Now since a new version is launched this year, the earlier version they have reduced the cost, obviously because people want to prefer buying the new version, right? So the previous version they have reduced the cost by 15%. Now they want us to know what is the price of the earlier version of the watch this year. So let's begin by drawing the bar model. Now this is your cost of the watch, the usual cost of the watch, or the price of the watch last year, that is 100%, and now after a 15% decrease, so which means from 100% if you reduce 15%, this year the last of a previous version watch will cost you 85%, right? So let's see how to go about it. Price of earlier version is 100% minus 15% equal to 85%. That is, it costs 85% this year for the previous version. Now 100% we know, that is the 100% is the cost of the watch last year, that is 115. Now this year they are charging 85%, so it becomes 85 into 115 divided by 100, which is equal to $97.75. So the price of the earlier version of the watch this year becomes $97.75. Question number 3. Najib bought a handheld game console for $289 after a 15% discount. Now the question is, how much was the discount and what was the usual price of the handheld game console? So they have given us one information is that Najib has bought a game console after a 15% discount and he has paid $289. Now they want us to find out how much is the discount amount he has got and what is the usual price, that is what would have been the price of the console without the discount. So let's begin by drawing the bar model. Since it's a 15% discount, it becomes 100 minus 15%, which is equal to 85%. So which means Najib paid 85% of the game console, which becomes 85% becomes $289. And they've asked us to find how much is the discount, that is how much is this differential amount, that is your discount, right? This much amount he hasn't paid, so that becomes your discount. So how much is the discount and what is the usual price? Now usual price is your 100%. So let's begin by finding out. For question A, 100% minus 15% becomes 85%. So Najib paid 85%, which is equal to 289. So 85% is equal to 289. Now 15% will be equal to 15 into 289 divided by 85, which is equal to $51. So now $51 is the discount Najib got. Now question B, what was the usual price of the handheld game? Now usual price is what? The amount Najib paid plus this discount which he has received will be equal to 100%. So it becomes discounted price plus discount, which is 289 plus $51, and this is equal to $340. So the usual price of the the usual price of the handheld game console was $340. Let's look at question number 4. On a particular day, the height of the tide at East Coast Park was 0.8 meters at dawn. At dusk, the height of the tide increased by 40%. Find the height of the tide at dusk. Now they have given the height of the tide at dawn, that is morning or sunrise, and they have told that at sunset there was a percentage increased by 40%, and they want us to calculate the height of the tide at dusk, which is at sunset. Now let's begin by drawing the bar model. Now we know 100%, that is at dawn, 100% is 0.8 meters, and there was a percentage increase from 100, 40% increase becomes 140%. Now they want us to find what was the height of the tide at dusk. So which means height of the tide when it was 140%. So basically it will become 100% is equal to 0.8 meters. 140% will be 140 into 0.8 divided by 100, which is equal to 1.12 meters. So the height of the tide at dusk was 1.12 meters. Question number 5. The number of people who visited the bird park in February decreased by 30% to 3360 or 3360 when compared to January. Now question A, how many people visited the bird park in January and how many fewer people visited the bird park in February? So what has happened here is, in January certain number of people have visited the bird park, and in February the number of people who have visited has reduced compared to January by 30%. So that becomes 100 minus 30%, that is 70%. Only 70% of people have visited in February. Let's begin by drawing the bar model. Now in January, we know 100% of the people have visited. Okay. So basically the point that you need to remember in percentage concept is when you are comparing two values. So basically not when a value is reducing or increasing, so the original value, the usual price or the original number of people who have visited a park or whatever, that becomes your 100%. Now whether the other value will be an increase or decrease compared to this first value. Okay, so that value becomes your 100%. So here the people who visited in January becomes 100%, and there has been a reduction from this 100% to 70%. So basically they have reduced by 30% compared to January. So this becomes 70%. So the number of people who visited February becomes 70%. Now we know 70% is equal to 360. They have asked us to find what is the difference between the number of people who visited in January and February. So that basically becomes your 30%. 30% of people will be the answer to your B question. Now 100% will be your answer to your A question. Correct? Let's see how to solve it. For question A, percentage of people who visited the bird park in February is 100% minus 30% equal to 70%, and we know 70% is 3360, so 100% will be 100 into 3360 divided by 70, which is equal to 4800. So 4800 people visited the bird park in January. Now for question B, you need to calculate how much is the value for 30%. Or you can also simply subtract the number of people who visited in January minus number of people who visited in February, which is 4800 minus 3360, this is equal to 1440. So 1440 fewer people visited the park in February. Question number 6. Hannah deposited a sum of money into a savings account. The interest was 3% per year. She did not withdraw any of her savings. After 1 year, Hannah had a total of $2,832.50 in the savings account. Now question A is, how much did she deposit into the savings account and how much interest did she receive at the end of the year? So this is very similar to the previous question. Let's begin by drawing the bar model. Here we know 100% is the amount that she has deposited. Here you are again comparing how much the money has increased from what was the initial amount or the usual amount. Okay, so this amount 100% depicts the amount of money she deposited, and this has increased by 3%. So this becomes 103% at the end of 1 year. Now the question is, how much did she deposit? So basically we need to find the 100% and how much is the interest, which is 3%. How much is the interest that she has received at the end of the year? So let's begin. Money of her savings after a year becomes 100% plus 3%, which will be equal to 103%. Now we know 103% is $2832.50, which is given in the question. Now 100% will be 100 into 2832.50 divided by 103%. So that will be equal to $2,750. So basically Hannah deposited $2,750 into her savings account before a year. So she deposited 2,750 into the savings account. Now question B, how much is the interest she received? Now that we know this and we know the total amount was 2,832, we can simply subtract 2,832.50 minus 2,750, which will be equal to $82.50. So Hannah received $82.50 as interest at the end of the year. Let's look at the 7th question. 1,760 upper primary pupils took part in a sports meet in 2014. This was a decrease of 20% when compared to 2015. The number of upper primary pupils who took part in 2016 increased by 5% when compared to 2015. How many upper primary pupils took part in the sports meet in 2016? See, now here we are doing two sets of comparisons, 2014 and 2015. That is one comparison, and the second comparison is between 2015 and 2016. Now here in both the comparisons we are comparing it against 2015. So basically your base value will be 2015. They are saying 2014, this the percentage has reduced compared to 2015. So 2015 will be a base value, so that will be 100%, and 2014 has reduced by 20%. Same way, the second comparison, you are saying there is a 5% increase compared to 2015. So again you are comparing to 2015. So 2015 becomes your base value. So that becomes 100%. And then there is a percentage increase of 5% in 2016. Let's begin by drawing the bar model for your easier understanding. Now there are 3 bars for 2014, 2015 and 2016. Now 2015 becomes your base value. Both the comparison of 2014 to 2015 and 2016 to 2015 is done against 2015. So basically this becomes your base value. So this becomes 100%. Now they are saying in 2014 the number of people who participated was 1,760 and this was 20% less compared to 2015. So basically there's a percentage decrease of 20%. So which means 100 minus 20% becomes 80%. So only 80% of people participated in 2014. So that becomes 1760. Now for 2016, we are saying there was an increase by 5% compared to 2015. So that becomes 105% people participated in 2016. Now let's begin by solving it. So number of people in 2014, which is 100% minus 20%, which is 80%, and now 80% is equal to 1760. Number of people in 2015 was 100%. So 80% is equal to 1760. 100% will be equal to 100 into 1760 divided by 80. So this is equal to 2200. There were 2200 people or pupil who participated in 2015. Now the question was to find how many people participated in 2016. So to find that, now we know the number of people who participated in 2015 was 2200, and there is a 5% increase to that. So it becomes 100 plus 5% is 105%. So we know 100% is 2200. 105% is equal to 105 into 2200 divided by 100, which is equal to 2310. So basically 2310 pupils participated in 2016. Question number 8. The temperature of a piece of metal was 32 degrees Celsius. It was then lowered into a glass of hot water and the temperature of the piece of metal rose to 36 degrees Celsius. Find the percentage increase in the temperature of the piece of metal. Now in this question they are asking us to find the percentage increase or the increase in percentage. So here the bar model, let's look at the bar model. 100% we know, that is the original, the base value which we are comparing to is 32 degrees Celsius, right? That has increased to 36 degrees. So now 32 degrees Celsius will be your 100%. So this bar model shows 32 degree, this much is your 100%, correct? And the total, it has increased by how much? It has increased to 36. So the total, the new value becomes 36. Now the difference value becomes 36 minus 32, which is your 4 degrees Celsius. Now they are asking us to find by how much percentage is this increase. So let's begin. Increase in temperature is 36 degrees Celsius minus 32 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 4 degrees Celsius. So we basically need to calculate how much percentage is this 4 degrees Celsius. Now we know 32 degrees Celsius is 100%. So for 4 degrees Celsius it will become 4 into 100 divided by 32, which is equal to 12.5%. So the percentage increase in temperature of the piece of metal was 12.5%. Let's look at question number 10. Ramesh collected 24 stamps in January. He collected 30 stamps in February and 36 stamps in March. So question A is, find the percentage increase in the number of stamps collected between January and February, and find the percentage in the increase in the number of stamps collected between February and March. So here we are comparing three entities, January, February and March. So let's begin by drawing the bar model. Here there are two comparisons. One is between January and February, and second is between February and March. So here January and February, we keep January as 100%, and this, as there is a percentage increase in February, they are asking us to find how much it is. They have given in January it was 24 stamps, so 100% becomes 24 stamps. So this is your 100%. Now in February it becomes 30 stamps. So 30 stamps, how much is your percentage increase? They want you to find this. By how much percentage has it increased in February compared to January, and same way in March, how much has it increased in, by how much percentage has it increased in March compared to February. Okay, so let's begin by to solve. So increase in stamp collected between January and February will be 30 minus 24 equal to 6 stamps, right? So this difference is 6 stamps. Now we need to find how much percentage does this 6 stamps contribute to. So 24 stamps is equal to 100%. 6 stamps will be 6 into 100 divided by 24, which is equal to 25%. So there was a 25% increase in the number of stamps collected between January and February. So that's the answer for your A question. Now let's move on to question B. Increase in stamps collected between February and March was 36 minus 30, correct? In March, the number of stamps collected was 36. So the difference in number of stamps between February and March was 6 again. Now, when you're comparing between March and February, so basically here your base value becomes February. So February's value will become your 100%. So February the number of stamps collected was 30 stamps. So 30 stamps will be equal to 100%. Now the difference amount of 6 stamps will be equal to 6 into 100 divided by 30, which is equal to 20%. So there was a 20% increase in the number of stamps collected between February and March. Next question, question number 11. Nazri ran 16 kilometers last week. He ran 1.4 kilometer more this week. Find the percentage increase in the distance he ran this week. So we know how many kilometers he ran last week, and this week he has run 1.4 kilometers more compared to last week. Since we are comparing it to last week's value will be your base value. So that becomes your 100%. Compared to last week, how much percentage has he run? They are saying he has run more, so that means there's a percentage increase. We need to find by how much percentage has he increased his run this week. Let's begin by drawing the bar model. It becomes, this is your 100%, which is your 16 kilometers. That's your base value which was run last week. He has run 1.4 kilometers this week. So basically he has run for 17.4 kilometers combining last week and this week. Anyway, that value is not required in this question. So he has run 1.4 kilometers more this week. So this week, what is your percentage increase? So basically we need to find how much percentage does this 1.4 kilometer contribute to this week. So we know 16 kilometers is 100%. 1.4 kilometers will be 1.4 into 100 divided by 16, which is equal to 8.75%. So which means the percentage increase in the distance that he has run this week is 8.75%. Question number 12. Rosita bought 3000 ml of fruit punch to a picnic. She accidentally spilled 870 ml of fruit punch. What was the percentage decrease in the amount of fruit punch? So here 3000 ml becomes your base value, and she has spilled some of the juice. So which means the amount of the juice that she has currently has reduced. So there is a percentage decrease, and they have asked us to find how much is that percentage decrease. Let's begin by solving the question by drawing the bar model. Here, as I said earlier, 3000 ml will be your 100%, and she has spilled 870 ml. Now the reduced amount, they have asked us to find how much percentage has it reduced by. Okay, so let's begin by solving. 3000 ml is 100%. So for finding the percentage decrease, we know that it is reduced by 870 ml. So we need to find how much percentage does this 870 ml contribute to. So 870 ml will be equal to 870 into 100 divided by 3000, which is equal to 29%. So basically she has spilled 29% of the juice. So the percentage decrease is 29%. Question number 13. The usual price of a tennis racket was $200. Benny was given a discount of $36 during a sale. Find the percentage discount he enjoyed. So a $200 racket, Benny got it reduced by $36. So the discount was $36, not the discount price. Keep that in mind. Benny was given a discount of $36. So he has paid 200 minus $36 for the tennis racket. Okay. Now they've asked us to find the discount percent. So basically how much this $36 contribute to as percentage. Now your base value is your $200, so that becomes your 100%. So and this they've asked us to find how much this $36 contributes to as a percentage. So that becomes your discount percent. So $200 is equal to 100%. $36 will be 36 into 100 divided by 200, which is equal to 18%. So he enjoyed a discount of 18%. Question number 14. Mrs. Ko placed a few boxes of chicken essence in her luggage. As a result, the mass of her luggage increased by 4 kg. This was a 25% increase in the mass of her luggage. Find the mass of her luggage before the boxes of chicken essence were added. So here in her original luggage, she has added a few boxes of chicken essence. So the luggage without the chicken essence becomes your base value, and that is 100%. To that she has added certain amount of chicken essence boxes. Now they've told the mass of her luggage increased by 4 kg. So basically she has added 4 kg of chicken essence boxes. Now this difference in percentages or the percentage increase is 25%. Now we need to find how much is 100%. So let's draw the bar model and see. Now here we know this is your 100% and here this is 25%, that is 4 kg. Now they are asking us to find what was the mass of a luggage before the essence was added. Now 25% is 4 kg, 100% becomes 100 into 4 divided by 25, which is equal to 16 kg. So the mass of a luggage before the chicken essence were added was 16 kg. Question number 15. Kamisa cut a 2-meter piece of cloth from a roll of fabric. It was 8% of the length of the entire roll of fabric. Find the length of the cloth left in the roll of fabric. Now she had a big roll of fabric and she has cut only 8% of that roll, and that 8% is equal to 2 meters. So now let's begin by drawing the bar model. Now this is your entire roll of fabric, which is 100%. Okay, and then she has cut 8% of it from it, and that is 2 meters. Now they asked how much is the roll of how much cloth is left in the roll of fabric. So that becomes your remaining percent. So percentage of cloth left in the roll will be equal to 100% minus 8%, which is equal to 92%. Now 8% is 2 meters. 92% will be 92 into 2 divided by 8, which is equal to 23 meters. So she had 23 meters of cloth left in the roll of fabric. Let's look at the last question in practice 2, question number 16. Linus received 12 marks more in test 2 than his score in test 1. This was a 15% improvement. He then made another 4-mark improvement in test 3. Question A. What was his score for test 1? And question B. What was the percentage increase in his test score from test 2 to test 3? Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. Now here we are making comparisons between test 1, test 2 and test 3. In this comparison, we are making 2 comparisons, that is between test 1 and test 2, and then between test 2 and test 3. Now in test 1, since you are comparing test 2 to test 1, your test 1 becomes your base value. So that becomes 100%. Okay, so this becomes 100%. Now Linus received 12 marks more in test 2. So which means the differential amount is 12 marks, and this was a 15% increase. So from 100% it becomes 100 plus 15, which is equal to 115%. And then in test 3 he has gained 4 more marks. Now they want us to find how much is this percentage increase. Okay, so let's go step by step. Now we know for solving A, we know 15% is equal to 12 marks. So 100% will be 100 into 12 divided by 15, which is equal to 80 marks. So he scored 80 marks in test 1. For question B, test 2 score we know is 80 plus 12 marks. We know he has got 12 marks more in test 2, right? So his test 2 score becomes 92 marks, and now when you are comparing test 2 and test 3, test 2 becomes your base value. So this 92 marks becomes your 100%, right? And test 3 score is 92 plus 4, which is equal to 96 marks. Now the increase in his test score from test 2 to test 3 is 4 marks, correct? So 92 marks is 100%, that is your base value. Test 2 score becomes your base value when you are comparing test 2 and test 3. Now you know test 2 score is 92 marks and that becomes your base value 100%, and 4 marks will be equal to 100 into 4 divided by 92. So that is equal to 4.34%, 4.347%. Now they've asked us to correct to one decimal place, so when you round off it becomes equal to 4.4%. So percentage increase in his test score from test 2 to test 3 was 4.4%. Thank you friends. Hope you found this video helpful. If yes, please do like, share with your friends and subscribe for more such useful videos. Feel free to comment your doubts down below and I shall get back to you at the earliest. See you soon with another math video. Bye.